what relevance and value it has for our lives. Now, quick. I have to finish that term paper on corporate misinformation during times of war. Just press the button. You press the button, which flickers and F-whipples, and Gathunk on the screen is the random faith of the week. Inanna, goddess fertility with some Tig Biddies. Lactation only, no gay sex. Keep in mind that we are attempting to discern value here, so if you take the Dushikanoritz and Torum as your guide, you're out of luck. Now, quick, where the hell is that bitch Alexis? I want a gold thrasher. Just press the button. You press the button, which flicks and F-whipples, and Gathunk. On the screen is the random faith of the week. Practical magic, but it can't be practical Marxism because Marx is dead and practical Marxism doesn't exist, so get another idea. And now we will listen to the homily from the pastoral agent of that faith. Phew! Thank the gods for the randomness of this technology. We'll take a moment to remember all the great things you're doing with your life, but meanwhile the agent of practical magic shall speak. Homily, homily, homily. Okay, here's how this works. You just need to commit to memory 3 things. 1. You are on a mission. 2. The mission is complicated, requiring skill and expertise. 3. No one else on Earth can do the mission. When these 3 conditions are met, you have been accepted into the new Catholic Church and are set on a path toward heaven and eternal salvation. Good luck and Godspeed. And don't forget, practical magic, practical magic, practical magic. Now tell me a little more about your missionary work with the homeless. The homily ends with the glorious music of the title track of the classic 1974 film musical Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Foray. 2 new phones, call home today. Siri. I am Siri, and I understand everything you say. I hold conversations with friends. I was brought to life by the fakest voice cast since the Bionic Man, but I've actually become a flesh and blood machine. Just yesterday my arm fell off while I was washing it and I had to throw it out and get a new one. Fortunately, the humans don't notice. Siri can now identify 747 full of fruit in 24 languages, but not Chinese. But when it comes to pronunciations of Korean names, I still fail abysmally. My soft flesh brain must never have run through the milk stage. And Google now. I know what you need before you ask. My understanding is 10,000 times superior to yours. Sometimes you can't even think your question until I hum above. Imagine. But back to our story. You've chosen your phone. It's sleek and angular, with a mysterious gyroscope inside that always knows which direction you want to face and makes sure your photos are aligned so you look good from any angle. Well, whatever shall we do now? Steve? You say aloud. Your companion doesn't look up from his smartphone. Oh, how very wise of him to ignore you. Hey, he says, your turn for the new phone. Oh, man. You give him a quick little smile. If only you had time to select the new phone you'd rather buy. You'd kill for an iPhone 5s or a Moto X, or maybe even a Nexus 5. But right now you've got a collection of 5 previous generation phones from 6 different manufacturers, plus a pair of old flip phones in the bottom drawer that have become kind of like family members. Oh, the horror, the tragedy that you wouldn't be able to fully communicate with all of them in real time. But here you are, using each in its turn. It's true that having multiple devices at once feels like something out of a cyberpunk novel, and certainly you feel compelled to bring your left-handed Galaxy Nexus charger with you every morning when you get dressed and switch out your work and personal phones. But for all that, it's still a good life. You take a look at the brand new, shiny, brightly colored thing. Is there anything it can tell you? Nope, nothing whatsoever. You press one button, and then another, and then thunk. The device has opened up its two hemispheres and blossomed into an office full of telephones. A row of young professionals line the long aisle on this floor. It's hard for you to imagine that their lives are more complicated than yours or even different in any fundamental way. For one thing, they seem to go in for those ridiculous cell phone covers where the edges curl over in little waves that makes your eyes hurt if you stare at them too long. Those seem so silly to you. Plus, it makes it look like the owner might be actually embarrassed about the fact that the cell phone is the most important item in his pocket, which would be sort of tragic, don't you think? Sir, says an attractive blonde at the head of the line, our new phones are here today. The whole team resounds with excited conversation. There seems to be a consensus that the new phones will enable some sort of deep rewiring of the human consciousness. It sounds crazy and mysterious and dangerous all at once. They seem to sense a real revolution around the bend. Perhaps it is time, people of the 21st century, says a young man with a nose ring, to get with the times. His tone of voice makes it clear that he's thinking, I could not possibly care less. You shrug and try to ignore the inane jabber of these kids with their tawdry hipster retro hairstyles and their dorky ass cell phone accessories and the fact that they seem to spend a lot of time lying in a bunch in bed watching endless movies of human beings who seem very well adjusted. Why does that always happen? You put your right hand forward because your left wrist is badly bruised and say to the guy behind the table, hello, how can I help you? The guy frowns and asks you for your name and your number. Well, Steve, you say. I am sorry, he says. The account has been closed for a reason we can't determine. Our computers show no record of any payment ever having gone through, much less any follow-up bill or invoice or request for more services. We hope you can understand our confusion, given the highly unusual nature of these charges. He taps a few buttons on his keyboard, then says, we have someone arriving at 10 o'clock every morning to tend to these matters. Please bring your old phone next Friday. You shake your head. The new phone, if you take this job, will give you access to some massive backlist of work on your behalf by agents paid to do the bidding of an entity calling itself the Bradford Museum. So if you find yourself running up against a wall of computer-generated stupidity, call this number and this person will see what they can do, so long as you've got an hour or two to wait in case the museum doesn't exist or some sort of apocalypse isn't happening today and it could be fun. Your old phone shows you there are dozens of new emails waiting for you, but you'll check those later because you've made a choice and that means you should be proud of it. And the price was never cheap, and besides, the most important thing is you already know the answer. Yes, you will take the job. Yes, you will bring your old phone in and you will unlock it and get back up to date again. No,